ever just stop and think about the phone in your hand? Or the car you drive? I mean, these things are incredibly complex, right? Built from thousands of parts by thousands of people. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the blueprint that makes it all possible.
So let's just dive right in. How does something go from being a cool idea in a designer's head to an actual product that you can hold? I mean, the challenge is huge, because think about it. No one person builds a whole car anymore. We have workers who are hyper-specialized, focusing on just one tiny task. So how on earth do you coordinate thousands of people and machines without the whole thing just turning into total chaos?
Well, the answer, thankfully, isn't magic. It's a system. A really powerful, carefully designed system is the secret sauce that brings order to all that complexity. It makes sure every little piece fits and every single step happens in exactly the right order. You know, it's the difference between a random pile of parts on the floor and a perfectly tuned high-performance engine.
And that system, well, it has a name. It's called the production system. This is the master plan, the operational blueprint that pretty much every modern factory runs on. So let's unpack this really elegant solution.
Okay, so at its very core, a production system is a collection of people, equipment, and procedures. And that word collection is so important here, because it's not just the machines, and it's not just the workers on the line. It's everything, all the plans, all the procedures, all working together as one big cohesive unit.
So, and this is crucial, you can basically break this whole system down into two main parts. The best way to think about it is like a person. On one side, you've got the facilities. This is the body's muscles and bones, the physical factory, the big machines, all the tools. This is the part that actually does all the heavy lifting. And then, on the other side, you've got the manufacturing support systems. This is the brain and the nervous system. This is all the planning, the management, the quality control. It's the thinking part that tells the muscles what to do.
All right, let's start by looking at that first pillar, the physical heart of the factory. The muscles and bones we're calling the facilities.
So what does this actually include? Well, it's pretty much everything you can physically see and touch on a factory floor. We're talking about the building itself, of course, the big humming production machines and all their specific tooling, but it's also the stuff that moves materials around, like conveyor belts and robotic arms. It's the high-tech gear they use for quality inspection, and it even includes the plant layout itself. You know, the strategic way everything is arranged to make it all run as smoothly as possible. Now, inside those facilities, work really gets done in one of three ways. First up is manual work. Just picture someone carefully hand-assembling a detailed part. Then you've got worker machine systems, which is probably the most common. That's where a person is operating a powered machine, like a machinist using a lathe to shape a piece of metal with incredible precision. And finally, you have fully automated systems where a machine just does the job all by itself, like a robot welding a car frame, just following its programming. Okay, so we've got the muscles. But muscles are pretty useless without a brain to tell them what to do, right? And that brings us to pillar number 2, the brain and nerves of the whole operation, the support systems. This is the invisible information flow that actually drives everything. It all starts with business functions. This is the factory's connection to the outside world. We're talking sales, processing customer orders, handling the billing. Then, once the company knows what the customer wants, it moves to product design, where engineers create the actual blueprints. From there, manufacturing planning kicks in. These are the folks who figure out the smartest, most efficient way to actually build the thing. And finally, you have manufacturing control. This is the real-time oversight, managing the flow of production and making sure the quality is perfect every step of the way. So, you have the powerful facilities, the muscles, and the intelligent support systems, the brain. Now, it might sound obvious, but this is probably the most critical point of all. Neither one of these can create a single finished product on its own. They have to work in perfect harmony. And that really brings us to the key takeaway. If you want to run a successful modern factory, you absolutely need both powerful muscles and a sharp brain. One is totally useless without the other. They're completely interdependent. A brilliant plan with no machines is just a daydream, and a factory full of amazing machines with no plan is, well, it's just expensive chaos. It's this entire system working together that takes an order from a customer and turns it into a real finished product delivered right to their door. So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. We've established that both the muscles and the brain are essential, but as automation and artificial intelligence get smarter and smarter, which side do you think is going to define the future of manufacturing?
Will it be the physical machines, the muscles that just get more and more capable? Or will it be the increasingly intelligent plans, the brain, that guides them? It's a really interesting question about where the modern factory is headed next.